phone! I need you to make me a deck!
Okay, I know I do a lot of different things on my channel, but surgery is not one of them.
What? No, I meant deck of magic cards.
Oh! You know, it kind of sounded like you said... Yeah, never mind. What format do you play?
I play Magic Duels.
But Brooke!
Shut.
Tell you what, how about we do a standard deck? The only set in Duels currently not legal in standard is Origins anyway. And you can use more rares, and you can have a bigger card pool.
I don't know.
I'll promote your channel in a YouTube video.
Deal.
Alright, great. So, what do you run in Duels? Easiest way to do this would to take what you use there and translate it into standard.
I like red decks.
Huh. You know, I was kind of expecting blue.
Why?
Well, I mean, you know, the whole, merfolk thing you got going on.
That's racist.
Whatever. Mono red it is! We're starting with 20 mountains and 3 Chandra Tortured Defiance.
The Planeswalker?
Well, yeah. I mean, fuck, do I really need to explain this one? She gives you more spells to cast, she burns your opponents and creatures, she gives you mana, she does pretty much everything a red deck would want to do.
She doesn't support artifacts.
We don't need artifacts! If we can get that ultimate, then we are literally 4 spells away from victory, even if we've done no more damage during the game. But we're in red, so chances are by turn 7 or 8 we'll have plenty of damage regardless. Although this does give me an idea for a game plan to work with.
I just figured we'd burn stuff a lot.
And that's exactly the game plan I have! However, most of our burn is going to be relegated to creatures. 4 copies of pretty much every burn spell we can use. Shock, Galvanic Bombardment, Harness Lightning, and Spark of Creativity. Although the only one of these that can hit a player is Shock. The other cards can serve alternate purposes though, like Spark of Creativity being used to get an extra card to use for a turn, much like Chandra's top ability. In fact, it basically is Chandra's top ability, but it burns creatures.
Okay, great. We can get rid of all the creatures. But how do we kill the player?
With a small selection of powerful creatures that can deal damage in a variety of ways. We've got 4 Sanguinary Mages, 4 Thermo-Alchemists, and 3 Bedlam Revelers.
Why these guys? There doesn't seem to be any synergy between them.
But there is synergy with how this deck works. Thermo-Alchemist doesn't have prowess, but he does untap whenever we cast most of our deck. So his pinging for 1 is going to add up very, very quickly. And at worst, he can block whatever's coming our way. Bedlam Reveler and Sanguinary Mage both have prowess. So you can actually burn a creature, then block with these to finish that creature off if you're on the back foot. Or you can throw some aggression out to force our opponents on the back foot. Bedlam Reveler is only a 3-out for a couple of reasons. First of all, I treat him like a 4-drop because it's around turn 4 when you're going to have the spells in your graveyard and the mana to cast him at the same time in most circumstances. And the second reason, you have to be very careful timing when you play him. He'll discard your hand, and although we could be building around that concept with Madness, I felt a deck where we empty our hand was a better choice, although discarding Galvanic Bombardment isn't necessarily a bad move since it powers up our other Galvanic Bombardments. Just don't play him when you have a full hand.
Got it.
There's a few more cards to consider, especially since it'd be possible to wind up needing to discard something good to Reveler, and empty hands without Reveler are still problematic. Luckily, the last few cards can help us keep going longer. I put 4 Karizev's expertise in for 2 reasons. First of all, it serves as a finisher, allowing us to steal the opponent's last blocker, or biggest creature really, and even swing with it. But the second effect is very useful for clearing out any stragglers the opponent may have, or even just building up a play full of prowess and alchemist triggers. A 4 of because its usefulness in getting past a wall. Oh, and speaking of getting past walls, 4 Renegade Tactics. Worst case scenario, it's 1 mana to draw a card, which is still good. Best case scenario, it wins you the game by stopping the one blocker who could shut down your damage dealing capabilities. Last 4 of in the deck is Expedite. A great draw off Revelers enter the battlefield. It's also good if you have to wait a turn on one of your creatures. Finally, we've got 2 Harness the Storm, because casting our spells a second time is fun, but we'll only get big plays off of it in so many situations.
This seems pretty complex for a deck about burning stuff.
Well, not really. The trick is to get out a Major Alchemist first, then start burning things to the ground and swinging in. Getting a Chandra will probably lock the game for you since you'll be accelerating yourself to lead into your most powerful method of burn, and they won't really be able to get their feet on the ground without them catching on fire. And if the opponent isn't giving you anything to interact with, you'll still get to grind away at their health fairly easily. It's basically Storm, but with less math.
Oh yeah, 'cause that really makes it sound easy to play. Anyway, thanks, I'm off to play some more duels. Bye!
But, I didn't even get to tell her about the sideboard.